Your future self just sent me a message for you. Yes, specifically for you. And I'm going to give you this message now. But first, I need to warn you. What you're about to hear will completely change the way you see your life. Thoth, the ancient master of the secrets of time, revealed that there is a version of you, living right now, that has already achieved everything you dream of. And that version is desperately trying to communicate with you through signs you've been ignoring. Those unexplainable chills, the song that played at the exact right time, that intuition that saved you. They're not coincidences. They are direct messages from your future self, and I'm going to teach you how to decode them in the next few minutes. But pay attention, there is a specific protocol hidden for millennia that, when activated, opens a direct channel of communication with this higher version of you. And at the end of this video, I will reveal that full protocol. But if you leave before the end, you'll miss the most important part, the exact moment when your future self will start answering your questions directly. So stay until the end, because your life is about to change forever. The reason you're still stuck, reliving the same challenges, is a subtle but devastating mistake. You treat miracles as if they're nothing special. Every time the universe sends you a sign, a synchronicity, an intuition as clear as day, your rational mind kicks in. In less than a blink of an eye, it creates a logical explanation, a convenient excuse to dismiss the extraordinary. It was just luck, you tell yourself. What a funny coincidence. And at that exact moment, you close the door your future self was trying to open for you. This self-sabotaging mechanism runs deeper than you think. Modern neuroscience is only just beginning to map what mystics call the guardian of the threshold. Your brain, in its primary function of ensuring survival, sees any deviation from the norm as a potential threat. An incredible opportunity could be a risk, a powerful intuition. Could be a delusion, and so it keeps you safe in your comfort zone, which is actually your cage, rejecting the gifts your more evolved self is sending you. But the blockage goes beyond just dismissing signs. The real problem is the internal noise you generate. Think of your mind as a radio station. When you desperately want prosperity, but deep down feel unworthy of it, you create static. When you dream of great love but carry the fear of betrayal, you generate interference. That contradiction, that civil war between what your soul desires and what your mind believes, creates a vibrational chaos that makes communication with your future self almost impossible. Your future self, on the other hand, operates in a state of perfect coherence. In that state, there is no room for doubt. Desire and belief are one and the same. He doesn't hope to succeed, he is success. He doesn't try to be happy, he vibrates happiness. That internal harmony is what gives him the power to shape reality. As long as you remain divided, fighting against yourself, your frequency will be incompatible with his. It's like trying to download a high-definition file with a slow, noisy dial-up internet connection. Every time you choose worry over trust, complaining over gratitude, resentment over forgiveness, you are actively thickening the fog that separates you from your best version. You are, with your own hands, sabotaging the bridge he's trying to build toward you. What we call luck that some people seem to have is not some random divine gift. It's the result of a clear signal from a mind that stopped fighting itself and finally allowed guidance to flow without obstruction. The most unsettling part, however, isn't what you were doing, it's what your future self is doing right now. a deliberate action connected to a forbidden discovery made millennia ago by a legendary sage named Thoth. This revelation is so powerful that it was kept under lock and key, because its power could destabilize the world order. And once you understand what it is, the very structure of your reality will begin to collapse, making room for something new and unimaginable. The figure of Thoth, often reduced to an Egyptian myth with the head of an ibis, is in fact the key to unlocking this mystery. Ancient records and fragments of forgotten texts suggest that he was far more than a deity. He may have been a survivor of an advanced civilization, possibly Atlantis itself, a master of quantum physics and reality manipulation, whose knowledge was millennia ahead of his time. Upon arriving in Egypt, his wisdom was so vast that he was deified, becoming the guardian of secret knowledge. That knowledge, which the Greeks later called Hermeticism in his honor, wasn't meant for the masses. It was whispered through secret societies, passed from master to disciple, silently influencing the greatest minds in history, from Plato to Newton. But why so much secrecy? Because Thoth didn't just discover philosophy, he discovered the source code of reality. He understood that the universe is not a fixed, material place, but a field of infinite potential, shaped by consciousness. And that truth, in the wrong hands, or even the right ones, was far too dangerous. In the legendary Emerald Tablets, a set of texts that supposedly contained the essence of his teachings, Thoth made his most shocking revelation. Time, as we know it, is an illusion. There is no past, present, and future in a linear sense. Everything is happening simultaneously in an eternal now. Your childhood, this moment of reading, and your old age coexist. That discovery alone would be enough to shake the foundations of science. But Thoth went even further, revealing something much more practical and powerful. He discovered that consciousness is not tied to a single point in time. With the right training, it can navigate through different temporal dimensions. In other words, you can access your future, not as a prediction or guesswork, but as a visit, a direct consultation with the version of yourself that already has all the answers. This knowledge was considered the ultimate heresy, as it took power out of the hands of kings and priests and gave it directly to each individual. The famous Hermetic principle, as above, so below, as within, so without, stopped being a poetic metaphor and became a literal equation. Thoth understood that our external reality is merely a mirror of our internal identity. If you change who you believe yourself to be, the universe has no choice but to rearrange the outside to reflect that new truth. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are, and that is the key to rewriting your own story. But Thoth's deepest and most transformative discovery, the one most zealously guarded, wasn't about the nature of time or the power of manifestation. It was about a specific action, a technique your future self is using right now to connect with you. A technique so powerful that once understood, it allows you to actively collaborate with him to sculpt your destiny. And once you know what it is, the idea of being a victim of circumstance will feel like a bad joke. Now take a deep breath and get ready, because what I'm about to reveal will challenge everything you believe about cause and effect. Your future self is not just somewhere far off, waiting for you. He remembers you. He remembers this exact moment. He remembers the chair you're sitting in, the light illuminating this page, the mix of skepticism and curiosity bubbling inside you. To him, This moment isn't the present. It's a vivid memory, a crucial point in his origin story. This is the essence of reverse memory, Thoth's most secret discovery. Just as you look back and remember your childhood, your future self looks back and remembers his journey to becoming who he is, including this very instant. And he's not a passive observer of this memory. He's using the knowledge he possesses to actively influence the past, which is your present. Quantum physics calls this retrocausality, the idea that the future can influence the past. The ancient sages called it magic. Think about what that means. If your future self remembers the path that led to success, he knows exactly which decision was the turning point, which meeting changed everything, which book held the vital information. And he's not just remembering, he's orchestrating. He's moving the pieces on the board of your present to ensure you make the right choices. He's whispering ideas into your mind, placing people in your path, arranging coincidences that are in reality carefully planned interventions. That sudden urge to call an old friend that led to a business opportunity, that was his suggestion. That missed flight that made you meet the love of your life at the airport, that was his maneuver. That video that randomly showed up on your feed and changed your entire perspective on life, that was a direct message planted by him. You're not stumbling in the dark. You're being guided by a master who already knows the entire map because he drew it himself. You are, right now, at a turning point. Your future self knows this. He remembers this moment as the great turning point, the moment you had the chance to abandon the old timeline of struggle and scarcity and leap into the reality of abundance and fulfillment. He remembers making that choice, and now he's creating the perfect setup, the perfect storm of synchronicities, to ensure you make the same choice he did. He's reaching his hand across time to you. But the most incredible part is still to come. Your future self isn't just remembering, influencing, and guiding. He's performing a specific action, a form of energetic manipulation so powerful it can alter the fabric of your reality in real time. He's doing something to make sure you not only see the door, but have the courage to walk through it. And what he's doing is the secret behind what's known as instant manifestation. Forget the idea that your future self is just sending good thoughts or positive vibes. The truth is much more active and impressive. Right now, he is engaged in what Thoth described as temporal weaving, using principles of quantum physics that are still theoretical to us. He is actively reorganizing the energy field around you. He is literally weaving a new reality for you, collapsing the probabilities that lead you to success and dissolving those that keep you stuck. Every synchronicity, every stroke of luck, every chance encounter is the result of a direct and conscious intervention. Imagine your future self as a great cosmic chess master, seeing the entire board of your life from a higher dimension. He's not just moving your pieces, he's influencing your opponent's pieces, aligning events, and orchestrating encounters to place you in checkmate against your own limitations. You're not just being helped, you're being strategically positioned for victory. The principle of vibration, one of the pillars of Hermetic knowledge, explains how this is possible. Everything in the universe, from your thoughts to the stars, is energy vibrating at different frequencies. Your future self, having already reached a state of success and fulfillment, vibrates at a much higher and more coherent frequency. From that elevated state, he can, like a powerful tuning fork, influence the lower, and more chaotic frequencies of your present, aligning them with the harmony of success. However, this quantum manipulation is not a one-way street. For the weaving to be effective, you must supply the thread. You must begin to act, think, and feel like the person you want to become right now. Not tomorrow, not when you have more money, not when circumstances are perfect. Now, you need to embody the identity of your future self before the external reality has had time to catch up. It's a quantum act of faith, a declaration to the universe that you are no longer waiting for change, you are the change. When you begin to embody this new energy, when you make decisions from confidence instead of fear, when you speak with the certainty of someone who has already won, you create a phenomenon that Thoth called temporal resonance. You become a living magnet, a biological antenna tuned to attract the people, resources, and opportunities that vibrate at the same frequency as your future self. Things don't just start working out, they begin to respond to your new energetic signature. Your future self knows exactly which identity you need to assume, which fears you need to face, and which limiting beliefs you need to let go of, because he vividly remembers going through that same metamorphosis. He is guiding you every step of the way. But for that transformation to be sealed, for the bridge between your current self and your future self to become a permanent road, there is a final step, an activation protocol that Thoth hid in plain sight, a secret that once activated makes your evolution not just possible, but inevitable. For millennia, historians and mystics have studied the Emerald Tablets, treating them as philosophical or allegorical texts. They admired the poetry but missed the instruction. What they failed to realize is that Thoth was not a poet, he was a reality engineer. Hidden in symbolic language, he left behind a practical manual, a step-by-step protocol to build an indestructible quantum bridge between your current consciousness and that of your future self. This protocol is not a fantasy of positive thinking or a simple meditation. It is a deliberate action, a declaration of intent so powerful that it reverberates throughout the quantum field, signaling to the universe that you are no longer playing with the idea of evolving. It is the act of tuning your inner radio to the exact crystal-clear frequency where your future self is broadcasting his wisdom with no static, no interference, just pure information capable of transforming your life overnight. The first step, and the most crucial, is to reach what Thoth called quantum coherence. This means declaring a ceasefire in the civil war happening within you. It's the end of the conflict between what you say you want and what you truly believe you deserve. You need to become a detective of your own soul, hunting down and exposing every contradiction, every secret doubt, every fear hiding in the shadows of your psyche. Because each of these contradictions is a hole in the bridge you're trying to build. Once coherence is established, the second step is hermetic alignment. This requires that you stop identifying with the person you once were and begin living as the person you are becoming. In every moment, in every decision, in every interaction, you must ask yourself, how would the highest version of myself handle this? What words would they use? What energy would they project? And then, you must have the courage to act in alignment with that answer, even if it feels strange or scary to your former self. The third step is preparing the energetic ground. You cannot receive a divine transmission in a chaotic environment. This means creating a sacred space, not just in your home, but especially in your mind. Turn off the noise of the world, silence the notifications, step away from energy vampires and empty conversations. Center yourself in the silence of the present moment, because it is in the emptiness, in the space between thoughts, that the voice of your future self can finally be heard clearly. Now, with the ground prepared and the frequency tuned, you are on the edge of the final revelation, the climax of all this knowledge, the missing piece of the puzzle. Thoth encoded a specific trigger, a master key that not only opens communication but fuses your reality with that of your future self. Get ready, because what you are about to receive is the secret that empires have been built and destroyed to protect. Here is the secret that has been hidden for ages, the key that opens the golden door to your highest reality. Deep within the emerald tablets, Thoth did not leave behind only philosophy, but a form of spiritual technology. A specific protocol he named the Quantum Oath. This is not a fragile plea to the universe, nor a hope cast to the wind. It is a declaration of command, an affirmation of power that realigns your atomic structure with that of your future version, creating an instant bridge of light between the now and your destiny. This is the oath that, when spoken with intention and coherence, informs the quantum field that the waiting game is over. I, in full awareness, declare to the universe that the time of separation is over. I now fully align with my highest version, the one already living in wholeness and success. I recognize that my future self is a present reality, and that their wisdom flows to me in this very moment. I choose to dissolve, here and now, every belief, every fear, and every pattern that has kept me trapped in a lesser reality. I affirm my worthiness and my ability to manifest the most extraordinary life. From this moment forward, I commit to thinking, speaking, and acting from the identity of my future self, trusting fully in the guidance I receive. So be it, for so it is. For this oath to activate its full power, it must be performed with precision. The ideal time is during what Thoth called the quantum window, the first 20 minutes after waking or the last 20 before sleep. In these states, the veil between the conscious and subconscious mind is thinner, making your declaration exponentially more powerful. Before speaking the words, enter a state of deep gratitude. Feel the joy of your ideal life as if it were already yours. Speak each word with authority, not as someone who is asking, but as someone who is commanding. After the oath, the most important step is silence. Remain quiet for at least 5 minutes. This is not a time of waiting, but of integration. It's the moment when your energetic field is being rewritten. Your cells are receiving the new programming, and the universe is beginning to reorganize the reality around you to match your new vibrational signature. You are sealing the contract with your new destiny, and silence is the seal. This oath works because it triggers a temporal collapse. It removes the perceived distance between you and your goal. You are no longer trying to become something. You are declaring that you already are, and simply shedding everything that doesn't match that truth. Your future self recognizes this declaration as the ultimate green light, the permission they've been waiting for, to intervene in your life more directly and powerfully, flooding your reality with synchronicities and miracles. Pay attention, because the results are swift. Within the first 24 to 72 hours, you'll notice a dramatic acceleration of meaningful coincidences. Intuitions that were once whispers will become shouts. Opportunities that once seemed impossible will start knocking at your door, But this is only the beginning. Making the oath is like starting the engine of a race car. Now you need to learn how to drive. And what I'm about to reveal next are the unmistakable signs that the activation worked, and how to use this new power to exponentially speed up your journey. After speaking the quantum oath, you are not left in the dark. Your future self, now with a clear and direct communication channel, will begin to send tangible confirmations that the connection has been established and transformation is underway. Ignoring these signs would be like receiving a treasure map and using it to start a campfire. Stay alert, because the universe is about to wink at you in unmistakable ways, proving that control of your timeline has changed hands. Be prepared to recognize the new language of your reality, a language of magic and synchronicity. The first and most explosive sign is the avalanche of synchronicity. In the coming hours and days, coincidences will become so perfect and so frequent that it will be impossible for your logical mind to dismiss them. You'll think of someone and that person will call you. You'll need specific information and a book will fall open to the exact page. You'll see number sequences like 1111 or 444 everywhere. This is not chance. It's your future self weaving reality around you, leaving a trail of cosmic breadcrumbs to show you that he's in control and that you're on the right path. Next, you'll experience mental clarity that borders on the supernatural. That fog of confusion, doubt, and indecision that used to hang over your mind will simply dissolve. Decisions that once paralyzed you for weeks will now be resolved in seconds, with instinctive and unshakable certainty. You'll know with a soul-deep conviction which project to take on, which person to walk away from, which path to follow. It's as if your mind, once a maze, has become a straight, well-lit road guided by the wisdom of someone who's already reached the destination. At the same time, a new source of energy will pulse through your veins. Not the nervous, artificial energy of caffeine, but a deep, calm, sustained vitality. You'll wake up before the alarm, feeling truly rested and excited for the day. The chronic fatigue that used to follow you will disappear, replaced by a vigor that radiates from the inside out. This is the energy of alignment, the life force that emerges when you stop fighting against yourself and start operating from your highest purpose, in resonance with your soul. You'll also notice a subtle but powerful shift in how people react to you. Your presence will become magnetic. Strangers will smile at you, conversations will flow effortlessly, and opportunities will emerge through people who feel inexplicably drawn to your new energy. It's not that you suddenly became more attractive or smarter overnight. It's that your vibrational frequency has changed. You're emitting a signal of confidence, authenticity, and power, and the world, like a mirror, has no choice but to reflect that back to you. Your intuition, once a timid and uncertain whisper, will become a clear and authoritative voice. You'll develop an almost psychic ability to read situations and people, knowing who is genuine and who is not. Your gut feelings will prove right with startling accuracy, and you'll begin to trust this inner compass more than any external advice. Your future self is communicating directly through this channel, giving you access to information that isn't available to the logical mind, guiding your every step with a wisdom that transcends time. But perhaps the deepest and most moving sign is an overwhelming sense of coming home, a feeling of peace and belonging that you may never have experienced before. It's the sensation that the endless search is over, that the inner struggle has ceased. You'll look at your life, at your circumstances, and feel for the first time that you are exactly where you're meant to be, being exactly who you were always meant to become. It is your soul breathing a sigh of relief, recognizing that you have finally remembered who you are. Recognizing these signs is vital, but there is a way not only to observe them, but to intensify them, turning gradual evolution into a quantum leap. Most people, when they begin to receive the first signs, make the mistake of becoming passive spectators, waiting for the magic to unfold. But Thoth's initiates knew that transformation is not a passive event. It's a process of active co-creation. He developed the temporal acceleration protocol, a series of deliberate actions that not only strengthen your connection with your future self, but also compress time, turning what would take years of evolution into just weeks or even days. It's the equivalent of trading a staircase for a quantum elevator. The first accelerator is immediate physical embodiment. Your future self doesn't just think differently, they move differently. Their posture is upright, their walk confident, their tone of voice firm and resonant. Start inhabiting your body the way they do right now. Straighten your spine, lift your chin, take up space. Your body is a biological antenna, and by adjusting your physiology to reflect your future self's confidence, you instantly and powerfully tune into their frequency, sending the universe an unmistakable signal that the change is already real. The second accelerator is the practice of instant identity-based decisions. At every crossroads of your day, from the smallest choice to the biggest, pause for a microsecond and ask, what would the highest version of me do right now? And then, without hesitation, without overthinking, do that exact thing. Every decision aligned with that higher identity is a golden brick in the construction of your quantum bridge. Every time you default to an old pattern, you weaken that bridge. There is no middle ground at this stage. Hesitation is the poison of acceleration. Next, you must become a ruthless curator of your environment. Your future self does not tolerate clutter, toxicity, or low frequencies. Look around you. Does your physical space reflect the clarity and abundance you desire? Begin immediately to create a sanctuary. Donate clothes that represent your old self. Throw away broken items. Organize your workspace. Add fresh flowers. Your outer environment is a mirror of your inner state. By elevating it, you force your own vibration to rise and match it, creating a field of resonance for your future self to inhabit. Establish a conscious, daily communication channel. Just like you nurture an important relationship, you need to nurture your connection with your future self. Dedicate sacred time each day, whether through automatic writing, where you ask questions and let the answers flow through the pen without judgment, or through internal conversations in a meditative state. Ask about your challenges, seek guidance. The more you engage in this dialogue, the stronger, clearer, and faster the communication channel becomes, transforming vague intuitions into precise directives. The fifth accelerator is immediate action on inspiration. When an inspired idea or a powerful intuition arises, you must act on it instantly, within seconds, if possible. That inspiration is a direct instruction from your future self, a piece of the puzzle being handed to you. Procrastinating or doubting that guidance sends a message to the universe that you don't trust the guide. Immediate action, on the other hand, demonstrates faith and opens the floodgates for even more insights and opportunities, proving that you are a ready and willing vessel. Finally, practice anticipatory gratitude. This is one of the most potent secrets. Instead of only being thankful for what you already have, begin to feel and express deep, genuine gratitude for the life your future self is already living. Be grateful for the success that's already yours, for the love that already fills you, for the health that already vibrates in your cells. By doing this, you create an emotional bridge between the two time lines, collapsing the vibrational distance and magnetically pulling that future reality into your present. But even with these accelerators, hidden enemies are waiting to pull you back the moment your progress peaks. At the exact moment your new reality begins to bloom, when the signs become undeniable and the acceleration is palpable, 3 silent and treacherous saboteurs emerge from the shadows. They don't come with loud alarms, but with subtle, logical whispers designed to drag you back into the old matrix of limitation. Knowing them is not optional. It is an absolute necessity to ensure your transformation becomes permanent, because they strike precisely when you let your guard down, believing the battle has already been won. The first and most dangerous saboteur is the old identity test. As soon as you commit to your new version, the universe, like a wise master, will test your conviction. People and situations from your past, those that represent your old patterns, will magically reappear. A toxic ex may reach out. A safe but soulless job offer may show up. An old family drama might erupt. Many interpret this as a sign to retreat, but it's exactly the opposite. It's confirmation that you're changing, and your old self is taking its final, desperate breath. The solution to this test is unwavering firmness. When faced with these ghosts of the past, don't engage, don't justify. Simply observe them as a neutral witness, and ask yourself, would the highest version of myself, my future self, spend a single second of their precious energy on this? The answer will be a resounding no. Thank the test, recognize it as a sign of progress, and continue moving forward in your new direction. Every time you pass this test, your new identity becomes stronger and more solidified, and the old one loses its power over you. The second saboteur is the trap of partial success. After the first victories, when money begins to flow, the relationship improves, or your health returns, a seductive voice whispers in your ear, "You did it. You can relax now. You can go back to your old habits." This is a deadly trap. Initial success is not the finish line. It's simply the universe giving you a taste of what's possible, to see if you are truly committed to mastery, or if you'll settle for the crumbs of transformation. To avoid this trap, you must use each success as fuel, not as a couch. Celebrate the win for a moment, and then ask your future self, what's next? What's the next level? Your future self doesn't operate in mediocrity or just enough. They live in continuous excellence and infinite expansion. By demonstrating that you're ready for more, you open the doors to levels of success and fulfillment your current mind can't even imagine. The plateau of partial success is where dreams go to slowly die. The third saboteur, and perhaps the most insidious, is the quantum imposter syndrome. As your reality transforms in miraculous ways, A part of your mind, conditioned by scarcity and low self-worth, may begin to panic. Thoughts like this is too good to be true. I don't deserve all of this, or when will they find out I'm a fraud? May start to surface. This may seem like humility, but it's fear wearing a costume of modesty, a desperate attempt by your old ego to convince you that you're not worthy of your own greatness. The cure for this syndrome is a radical shift in perspective. Remind yourself constantly that you are not becoming someone you're not. You're remembering who you've always been at your core. Your new life is not a prize you won in a lottery. It is the natural result of aligning with your truth. You are not an imposter in your own successful life. You are the master returning to reclaim your throne. Even knowing these enemies, the daily battle requires a strategy, a system to keep the connection strong and the vibration high, ensuring these saboteurs never find a way in. Establishing a connection with your future self is like lighting a fire. To keep it from being extinguished by the first gust of doubt or distraction, you need a daily maintenance system, a set of rituals that keep the flames of transformation alive and strong. Without this consistent practice, the connection, once clear as crystal, can become weak and full of static, allowing old patterns to sneak back in. This system isn't an obligation, it's an act of self-love, the discipline that guarantees your continued freedom. The most crucial ritual happens in the first 10 minutes of your day, before handing your awareness over to the chaos of the outer world. To your phone, the news, you must claim that time for yourself. In the first 3 minutes, simply close your eyes and feel the presence of your future self. Don't try to visualize or think. Just feel the energy, the calm, the confidence of your future self filling every cell of your body. Mentally say, I align and merge with my highest version now. It's a conscious tuning in that sets the tone for your entire day. In the next 3 minutes, perform what Thoth called identity programming. Visualize yourself moving through the events of your day, but from the perspective and energy of your future self. See yourself in that important meeting, not as your old self, nervous and insecure, but as your future self, calm, charismatic, brilliant. See yourself facing a challenge, not with frustration, but with wisdom and grace. This isn't mere fantasy. It's a quantum rehearsal, programming the field of probabilities in your favor before you've even left your bed. To close the morning ritual, dedicate the final 4 minutes to the practice of anticipatory gratitude. Feel a wave of genuine gratitude, not for what you already have, but for the extraordinary life your future self is already living, and that is now becoming yours. Give thanks for the opportunities already on their way, for the solutions already found, for the abundance already flowing. Gratitude is the frequency of receiving. When you vibrate in it in advance, you become a magnet for the experiences you desire, drastically accelerating their manifestation. In the middle of the day, when stress and the demands of the world threaten to pull you out of alignment, take a sacred 5-minute pause. Go somewhere quiet, take a deep breath, and ask yourself the alignment question. In this moment, am I operating as my future self or as my old identity? Be honest. If you realize you've slipped into old reaction patterns, don't judge yourself. Just breathe, reconnect with the feeling of your future self, and reset your energy. This simple check-in is the compass that keeps you on course throughout the day. Before sleep, perform the nighttime integration ritual, lasting 15 minutes. Use the first 5 to review your day, not with judgment, but with curiosity. Ask, where did I embody my future self today? Where did I fall into an old pattern? What lesson does my future self want me to learn from that? In the next 5 minutes, enter into a direct dialogue. Ask clear questions about your challenges, and then quiet your mind and listen to the answers that come as insights, feelings, or images. In the final 5 minutes, program your sleep and your tomorrow by visualizing yourself operating in total alignment. But you might be asking yourself, isn't this all just theory? Let me prove to you that it's not. Theory inspires, but proof transforms. Nothing demonstrates the overwhelming power of these protocols like the real stories of ordinary people who applied them and achieved extraordinary results. These aren't fables, they're living testimonials of what happens when someone dares to connect with their highest version. Let me share a few cases that will erase any lingering doubts from your mind and ignite a flame of possibility in your heart, showing that this quantum technology is real, accessible, and it works. Meet Marina. For 8 long months, she was stuck in the demoralizing cycle of unemployment, sending resumes into a silent void. Skeptical, but with nothing to lose, she made the quantum oath on a Monday morning. By Wednesday, a former colleague she hadn't spoken to in years called with a small consulting opportunity. During that project, her now clear and sharpened mind identified a market gap no one else had seen. Within 6 months, that insight turned into a company that generated $2 million in its first year. She says, "It felt like I had a genius strategist whispering in my ear 24/7. I just followed the instructions. Now, think of Rodrigo, a man whose heart was a battlefield, trapped in a repetitive pattern of attracting emotionally unavailable partners. Every relationship was a replay of the last, a cycle of hope and disappointment." After applying the protocols, he shifted his focus. "I stopped looking for love outside and started treating myself the way my future self would treat me, with non-negotiable respect and unconditional love," he says. He set boundaries, cut toxic ties, and learned to enjoy his own company. Within 3 months, without searching, he met Sarah. Today, they're married and living the kind of partnership he once believed only existed in movies. Consider the case of Carlos, a man whose life had been stolen by fibromyalgia for 15 years. Pain was his constant companion, fatigue his shadow. Doctors offered nothing but resignation. Upon discovering Thoth's teachings, he didn't focus on healing the illness. He focused on connecting with the future version of himself, who was the embodiment of radiant health. "I started walking, talking, and even breathing like someone overflowing with vitality. I stopped introducing myself to the world as the sick guy," he explains. In 8 months, 90% of his symptoms had disappeared. Today, he runs marathons. And then there's Anna, a talented artist whose creative well had completely dried up. For 2 years, the blank canvas was her torture, and the thought of giving up her passion grew more real each day. After the oath, she began a daily dialogue with her future successful artist self. She would ask, "What are we creating today?" Then she would pick up the brushes and follow the images and feelings that arose, without questioning them. Within 6 months, she produced a collection so original and powerful that it attracted the attention of major galleries. Today, she not only lives off her art, she is celebrated for it. what unites all these stories, from finances to relationships, health to creativity, is a clear pattern. They all took the oath seriously, practiced the maintenance rituals with discipline, acted on their intuitions without hesitation, and, crucially, stood firm when their old reality came to test them. They trusted the invisible process more than the visible evidence. But behind all these individual transformations lies an even deeper secret knowledge that Thoth reserved only for the most advanced. The understanding that your personal change is, in truth, an event of cosmic significance for those who master the personal connection. Thoth revealed a level of knowledge that transcends the individual and touches the very fabric of collective consciousness. This is the best-kept secret, the reason why your personal transformation is not a selfish act, but a planetary service. What you're about to learn can reframe your entire journey, showing that by saving yourself, you're actually helping to save the world, rewriting not only your timeline, but that of all humanity. Here is the final revelation. By connecting with your future self, you're not just accessing a better version of you, you're plugging into a vast network of consciousness that biologist Rupert Sheldrake called the morphogenetic field. Thoth knew it as the field of the collective mind. Every time one individual awakens, they don't just raise their own frequency, they strengthen this entire field, creating a clearer, stronger, energetic path for others to take the same journey. Your personal victory becomes a beacon for others. Once your personal connection is solid, you can activate the Advanced Initiate Protocol. The first step is the expansion of identity. Instead of focusing only on your own desires, you begin to include the well-being of all in your intention. Your question shifts from what would my future self do for me, to how can my future self, through me, serve the elevation of everyone. You transcend personal manifestation and become a channel for collective transformation, aligning your desires with the greater good. The second step is to become a conscious transmitter. You understand that you're not just receiving energy, you're also radiating it. Wherever you go, you intentionally project the frequency of your future self: peace, confidence, abundance. You walk into a room and, without saying a word, the energy rises. You don't need to preach or convert. Your presence alone becomes a blessing, a silent catalyst that awakens potential in others, often without them knowing why. At this level, something magical happens. Your future self begins to collaborate with the future selves of others. A network of elevated consciousness begins working together through you and other initiates. This is why certain people seem to have the Midas touch. They're not just manifesting for themselves, they're channeling a flow of collective abundance and synchronicity. The opportunities that come to them don't benefit only them, they create a ripple effect of prosperity for everyone in their orbit. They become an acupuncture point for planetary healing. With this power comes sacred responsibility. You realize that every choice you make has an impact far beyond your personal life. Each time you choose love over fear, trust over doubt, you're sending a wave of healing through the collective field. The final test of the initiate, according to Thoth, is the ability to hold this elevated frequency even when the outside world is in chaos. When you can be peace in the middle of the storm, you become a true master. But all of this knowledge is useless without the answer to one final and decisive question. And so we arrive at the critical point, the moment where esoteric knowledge meets the brutal reality of human nature. You now hold the keys to a kingdom most people don't even know exists. You've seen the maps, learned the protocols, witnessed the proof. The information that could catapult your life into a dimension of magic and power is now in your hands. But the question that echoes across the ages, the question that separates masters from dreamers, is terrifyingly simple. What will you do with it? The statistics are a cold slap to the soul. Studies on human behavior reveal an uncomfortable truth. 97% of people exposed to life-changing information do absolutely nothing. They feel inspired for a moment. The mind expands, the heart races, but then the inertia of routine pulls them back. They file the knowledge away in a mental drawer labeled someday. Only 3% try to act, and of those, only 1% persist with the discipline necessary to create real, lasting transformation. Now look inward with brutal honesty. Which group will you place yourself in? Will you be part of the overwhelming majority that knows the way but never takes the first step, living a life of what-ifs? Or will you join the rare and selective 1% who decide that knowledge only has value when it becomes lived experience? Your future self already knows the answer. He remembers this exact moment of decision. He remembers whether you used this revelation as fleeting entertainment or as the starting point for a personal revolution. Think about the cost of inaction. Every day you delay, every "I'll start tomorrow," is another day lived as a fraction of your true potential. It's another day you allow the invisible chains of fear and doubt to dictate the limits of your existence. It's another day your future self is left waiting with a banquet of extraordinary experiences prepared, while you settle for the crumbs of your old reality. The door is open, but he can't force you to walk through it. The choice has to be yours. There is an energetic window of opportunity that opens when we receive knowledge this powerful. According to ancient texts, this window remains open for about 72 hours. During this time, the energy for change is at its peak. After that, the rational mind, the guardian of your comfort zone, begins weaving its web of excuses, doubts, and logical justifications for inaction. If you're going to make the oath, if you're going to begin the rituals, the moment of greatest power is now. Not when you feel ready, because readiness is a myth. Readiness is a decision. You don't need to climb the entire mountain today. You just need to take the first step. The simplest and most powerful step is to make the quantum oath tonight before going to sleep. It's a 5-minute act, a commitment that costs nothing but can give you everything. It's your declaration to the universe that you mean it. Your future self is on the other side of that one simple decision, waiting to meet you halfway. Remember, not choosing is a choice to stay where you are, and your future will remember that choice. If you're still here, if your focus has remained steady all the way to this final moment, understand that this is not an accident. It was an act of quantum orchestration. Your future self moved heaven and earth, aligned synchronicities, and guided your clicks to ensure you arrived at this exact point. He did this because he knows, with absolute certainty, that the seed of greatness within you is ready to sprout. He knows you are not like the other 99%. You have the courage not just to know, but to become. Whether you realize it or not, a fundamental shift has already occurred in your energetic field. You've been exposed to information frequencies that have activated dormant parts of your spiritual DNA. You can no longer unsee what you've seen or unlearn what you've learned. The seed of your divinity has been watered. The only question that remains is whether you will continue to nurture it daily or allow the weeds of doubt and routine to choke it out. The choice, as always, is yours. But the potential for blooming has already been activated. Now, close your eyes for a moment and imagine. Imagine waking up with vibrant energy and a clear sense of purpose pulsing through your veins. Imagine moving through your day with unshakable calm and confidence, knowing the universe is conspiring in your favor. Imagine attracting relationships that nourish your soul, opportunities that expand your vision, and abundance that flows effortlessly. Imagine looking in the mirror and recognizing the master staring back at you. This is not some distant utopia. It is the natural state your future self is already living, and he is inviting you in. Before you go on with your life, before the world pulls you back, claim this moment. Take a deep breath. Feel the palpable presence of your future self beside you, smiling, encouraging you. If you are truly ready to leave behind a life of struggle and step into a life of flow, make the oath now, out loud or in your heart. But with the force of 1,000 suns, I declare to the quantum field that I am ready. I fully align with my highest version. I recognize that my future self is real and with me now. I dissolve all limitations and commit to acting from my highest identity. From this moment forward, I trust. So be it, for so it is. If you made this oath with your heart, the engine of your new reality has just been switched on. Your transformation has begun. In the coming hours, life will test you. Stay alert for the signs, the synchronicities, the doors that open. Remember the rituals, the accelerators, and the saboteurs. But most of all, remember this: the journey is no longer a solitary one. You have the most powerful and loving guide beside you at every step, yourself in your most glorious form. The adventure is only beginning. In the final words of the Emerald Tablets, Thoth left a message for you, the initiate who found the way. That which you seek, you already are. The power you desire, you already possess. The person you wish to become already lives within you. Your only task is not to create, but to remember. You are not building something new. You are simply removing the debris that has covered the magnificence that was always there. Welcome back to yourself. Welcome to your new life. Your future self greets you. If you made it all the way here, write in the comments, I choose to align with my future self. That way I'll know you stayed until the very end. If you'd like to support this channel more directly, there's a special access link in the first pinned comment where you can contribute and help spread more content like this. Any support means the world to me and helps the channel grow. But know this, just by watching until the end, you've already helped immensely. And if you can share this video with someone else who needs to hear this message, even better. And don't leave yet. I've picked a special video just for you. Click the video showing on the screen now, and I'll meet you there.